Greetings, ghouls and goblins, and welcome to our happy home of frights, sights, and delights.
They're here.
Stream and scream along with us as we break down all of the best haunted houses on screen. Let's begin with the new, since these old manors tend to get dusty.
It's perfectly splendid.
It's beautiful.
Come along.
The Netflix haunting anthology series of Hill House and Bly Manor are essential Halloween picks, with stars Victoria Pedretti, Kate Siegel, Carla Gugino, Oliver Jackson Cohen, and a bunch of ghosts hidden around every single corner. After Bly Manor's ghastly thrills and Hill House's ghostly chills, creator, producer, director Mike Flanagan has become a haunted house aficionado. He also reconstructed another cursed residence in between, 2019's Dr. Sleep, an adaptation of Stephen King's sequel to The Shining that also takes us back to the Overlook Hotel as seen in director Stanley Kubrick's 1980 interpretation of King's seminal work.
Come and play with us, Daddy.
Jack Nicholson's iconic performance of a dad driven mad by a hotel's haunted history is just as creepily affecting 40 years later. And that's why The Shining is on our best haunted house watch list.
Here's Johnny!
Actor Henry Thomas, who is in both Hill House and Bly Manor, does his best Jack in Dr. Sleep, as he takes on Torrance for a familiar reinterpretation of a classic Shining scene.
Are you gonna take your medicine?
You probably won't recognize Thomas from his breakout role as Elliot in E.T., because that was 40 years ago. Ooh, spooky. But his partnership with Flanagan has brought the actor back into the spotlight as the pair embark on their 6th project together, the Netflix series Midnight Mass.
Don't call on me. Unless it's an emergency. I'm extraordinarily busy.
But speaking of E.T., while Steven Spielberg had his hands full with alien puppets and Reese's Pieces, he was slyly overseeing this next watchlist pick on the side, 1982's Track Home from Hell, Poltergeist. What's happening? Technically directed by the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Helmer Toby Hooper, many of the ghostly gags and sinister special effects, like the kitchen mayhem and climactic coffin surprise, were of Spielberg's own design. His hands also make a cameo during one scary scene that's sure to get under your skin. While we're still on a Spielberg kick, here's a movie that was inspired by Jaws despite having no boats, no oceans, and no sharks. That chomp is about as close as House ever gets. When director Nobuhiko Obayashi was asked to make Jaws for a Japanese audience, he instead made 1977's House, a psychedelic free-for-all about a long-dead relative who eats unmarried girls that features wildly spooky and silly special effects, like a people-eating piano, a demonic cat, and plenty of bone-chillingly good times. We'll round this list out with one last haunt that'll keep you wide awake from now to All Hallows Eve: the continuing eerie adventures of real-life Ghostbusters Ed and Lorraine Warren in The Conjuring 2.
This is as close to hell as I ever want to get.
Since director James Wan launched the Conjureverse with 2013's The Conjuring, there have been 7 films in the extended franchise, with a 3rd Conjuring and 8th Conjureverse film slated for 2021. But from the demonic possessions to the poltergeist-style kitchen mayhem to that tiny teepee of terror, we feel that The Conjuring 2 is pound for pound and scare for scare the best of the bunch.
Your name gives me dominion over you, demon. And I do know your name.